Good morning. Welcome to our LinkedIn Live show where we bring you success stories as well as mistakes so you can avoid, gain insight and wisdom from, and help you accelerate your growth. This week, we feature Jay Abbasi. Welcome to the show, Jay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, Ken. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just a quick intro here. Jay is the CEO and founder of The Conscious Professional, helping high achieving professionals overcome stress and anxiety so they can get their careers to the next level without having to suffer any pitfalls of burnout. So, Jay, where are you dialing in from?
I'm in New Jersey, so I live about 20, 30 minutes from New York City.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, coast to coast. I'm all the way over here in California. You're
That's
all the way over
right.
there. The beauty of having, virtual, now the internet type of remote work, right? Where we can be anywhere in the world and still have this amazing conversation.
It's amazing, man. I mean, I've spoken one day, I'll sometimes speak to somebody in Australia, someone in California, someone in Germany, someone
Yeah.
right next door in New Jersey. It's amazing.
I love that. I love that. So let's dig right into your success story, mistakes, and wisdom that we all can gain insights from, so we can all avoid, and myself included. Together we can accelerate our own growth, right? Now, everybody loves a good story. They love a good story, especially ones that's packed with a lot of insights and wisdom from your own journey, right? Um, so let's take a walk down the memory lane a little bit. You know, Tell us, what were you doing prior to making the switch to entrepreneurship?
Sure. So I was working at Tesla and I was in a position where I was responsible for national training programs specific to energy sales, leadership, customer service, things like that.
Hmm.
And while I loved the work, when it was my time to exit, I knew that entrepreneurship was the route that I wanted to go down for sure.
Right, right. And when you were thinking of entrepreneurship, was there like a aha moment? You're like, you know what? This is it. This is where I want to explore. And what was the catalyst that made and it enabled you to make that switch? Because I know I had like many of those moments where it's like
Yeah,
I got, you know, what, what were those? Some of yours? Do you have any of those that you were thinking about?
there's more than one. And the one that came to mind as you were asking the question was I went to New York City to meet with someone and discuss an opportunity to take on a VP role where I would be responsible for the sales team as well as supporting training. And it was, a great opportunity, an incredible opportunity. And I
Hmm.
remember leaving that that lunch meeting with this pit in my stomach at the idea of staying in corporate. It was so vivid. It was
Hmm.
I can even talking about it, I can feel it again. There was this pit in my stomach screaming, no, not this. And
Right.
I knew that it was if I couldn't say yes to this amazing opportunity, that I couldn't say yes to any opportunity. I had to pursue something on my own because as a friend once we discussed this together. I said, as long as you're in corporate, you are building someone else's dream, and
Hmm.
that might be your decision. That's not bad, but that is ultimately what you're doing, right? You're building towards someone else's dream. Only as an entrepreneur are you building towards your own dream.
100%. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly why many entrepreneurs go out there. Because when I was working at Cisco, I mean, that's essentially it. You are either you are driving your own dream or become a part of somebody else's dream,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I knew that I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't do it. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. Those are important catalysts that drove me as well. Because I was working some days, 10, 12 hours, some days maybe 3, 4 hours, right? But at the end of the day, you can't really shoot for the stars and land on the moon in the corporate world. You really have to, if you really want to work that hard for a corporation, you might as well work hard for yourself, right? And make that switch and try it out, because at the end of the day, corporate world is gonna be there for you. It's not like it's gonna go away, right? And the only thing we're gonna regret is not trying. And the fear of
Exactly.
regret is, oh my, the fear of regret is way more important than not trying, and then just staying there and just collecting comfortable paycheck after paycheck, right? You don't know what's out there until you give it a shot.
Well said.
So so please share with us, um, since you left the corporate world and you transitioned over to entrepreneurship, what are you doing today, and what are the success stories, or one or two success stories you'd like to share with us, to help us, like, to help the other entrepreneurs, get inspired, to pursue after their dreams, and don't give up and keep going. So
Yeah.
if you have any kind of success stories, feel free to share with us.
Well, I think the success story is the story that the success of the people I've had the opportunity to work with. Like
Mhm.
that's the great success.
Yep.
The first person I got to help, the first person who came to me, or through the process of engaging with them. I'm using LinkedIn as my main platform to engage with people, who told me that, hey, I could use some help. And then we got on a call, and I started to work with this individual, and she started to get these amazing results. I mean, it was just like, wow, like, okay, this was an idea, and now I'm actually doing it. And to do that in a pretty short period of time, to start with, one client, and then build it to where, now helped so many people, is amazing to watch, right? So I guess, the greatest success that I've experienced is seeing people get amazing results, changing people's lives, and transforming the way that they approach their day to day. I don't think
Mm,
there's anything more fulfilling. Like, yeah, the byproduct of the financial fulfillment and all those things. That's nice. Working with a team of people, that's amazing. But that's the byproduct of the people that I've helped.
right, right, and then also the invisible byproduct of their closest circle also being impacted too positively. So you're changing
Yeah,
their life, but look at their family, their colleagues, right, their friends, seeing them transform, and they also benefit from your client being transformed.
exactly. It has this ripple effect, right?
Mhm.
And I think that an entrepreneur has that opportunity to do that, because you have much more control over the type of impact that you can make. And so, feeling as though, or experiencing that firsthand, has been quite amazing. It's been very fulfilling for me. Kent, I'm not able to hear you. I'm not sure if you went on mute there for a moment.
Sorry.
There we
Okay,
go.
okay, there you go. I'm back. So you've been writing this entrepreneurship journey since what, 3 4 years, just about the same time as I have.
Yeah.
And can you share some of your mistakes or that you made that along the way, so that we, others, entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs that come into the space, they can learn from, gain insight from, and wisdom from those, so that they can avoid it, versus making the same mistakes.
Yeah. Well, Kent, I didn't make any mistakes at all. No, no, I'm just joking, man. I made plenty. So I guess I'll narrow in on one that I feel like whenever I speak to a new entrepreneur, I want to really hammer this home, because this is the mistake that I made time and time again, and that
Mhm.
was to attempt to have everything lined up and be perfect before taking action. It is
Mhm.
the complete reversal of that process that I learned that I need to take in order to be successful. So
Mm-hmm.
there's the person who is behind the scenes, writing out the blueprints, coming up with the outlines, trying to
Mm-hmm.
plan out the perfect delivery, the perfect website, all these things, and spending hours and hours and hours doing that. That is the mistake. The other person taking messy action, reaching out to people, getting on calls. Like for me, I'm a coach, right? Just starting to coach people, even if I didn't have the perfect program developed yet, just start coaching people. That is the
Mm-hmm.
approach that makes you a successful entrepreneur. So the mistake to avoid is staying behind the scenes, planning everything out, trying to script everything perfectly before stepping on that stage. Instead, get up on
Just,
that stage and
just
just
do it.
start. Just
Just
do it.
start.
Just go. Throw things against the wall and see what sticks.
Right? Because everybody loves an authentic self, like the real you, and everybody has room for improvement. So there's always room for improvement. And you're right. Just just take one step after another. Just keep doing it. You're never gonna get it perfect because the market
Right.
always gonna change, right? The market condition always gonna change. So without experience from those actions, you don't know what to tweak.
Right. You have to make the mistakes. The mistakes are the steps towards the success. Even that word failure gets. I don't like that word so much. None of it's a failure. It's a learning lesson. You have to learn as an entrepreneur, and the way to learn is by taking action. And so, just to kind of bring it full circle, early on in my career as an entrepreneur, I was doing way too much of that planning. And so I personally experienced that until somebody finally shook me and said, just start, just take some action. And I listened to that person and everything started to change for me.
Wow, wow. Yeah, likewise, Sam, for me as well. I was talking to people, but talking to people is to pick their brain, right?
Yeah.
That's like another thing. But starting the sales process is something else, you know?
Right.
Like I was in a mode of absorbing, gaining insights and picking people's brain and trying to figure out, okay, how to go about this. And then, so that's first. The second is go to your market and ask them, if you have this problem, and if I have the solution to it, would you get it? Would you buy it? And that right there is already, just taking action
Yeah.
towards selling, but you're not really selling, right? You're just basically, finding out what the market is thinking. Then you can sell. Maybe they say, if you have it right now, I'll take it. And then you can be like, okay, well, I don't have a full blown program, but I can take you on, and as a deep discount or early stage, or pricing or whatnot, and just to get a proof that, or client testimonial that your program works. So I see what you're saying. So basically, just just take action. Don't have to get anything perfect, right? Just go out there and take massive action, and then you just naturally know where to tweak
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah. If you find yourself looking at uh, the right branding colors for your website, or the perfect font that needs to, that's when you got to realize, okay, I'm in the wrong place here. This is a mistake, right? You
Mhm,
don't
mhm.
need to spend hours and hours doing those things. Instead, Kent, what you just described is a perfect example. Talk to the audience, find out their needs, and provide a solution to their problem.
Right, right. Because ultimately, those your audience, your target market, they're never wrong, because they're the one who gives you the proper feedback to go fix the problem for them, right?
Yes.
It's like one of my mentors says, you want to know what sushi wants for lunch, just ask her. You don't have to guess. Just go out there
Right.
and ask her. Right? So that's,
Exactly.
for early stage entrepreneurs, I think that's a really good lesson to learn, so that you don't feel like, oh my god, I have to get everything perfect. And don't compare yourself to someone who's 20, 30 steps ahead of you. You
Yeah.
know, just be yourself, and don't look at your competition because you're unique and who you are is and what your program, what you can do for them, it's a whole different level. You know, and just as long as you can do better, you can do a better job because of your unique style, and then you can get better results. Who cares how many people have been before you? It doesn't matter, you know. So finally, let's talk about what are you offering right now, and who are your clients, and how, and then how do people find you? Like what kind of program you have inside your business today?
Yeah. So the people that I help are the really driven, ambitious, high achieving professional who wants to build out a career that they love, where they're
Mm-hmm.
making the impact that they want to make, and they want to do so without suffering the pitfalls of stress, anxiety, or burnout. So much of our world is plagued with those issues because we don't have good balance. So the person that I help is usually the person who doesn't agree with the hustle culture, doesn't think that we need to work 100 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
So the person wants to succeed, wants to achieve, but doesn't want to do so at the sacrifice of their own well-being, their own happiness, their time with their family. And so the way in which we deliver that is through effective personalized coaching. And so our coaching programs have helped many before, from people in corporate to people as entrepreneurs, and people somewhere in the middle, right, who are doing a little bit of both, building out something on the side while working in corporate. So we've helped a lot of different people in different stages. And the best way to reach me, LinkedIn, of course, right here is the platform I'm on
Mm-hmm.
mostly engaged with. And so LinkedIn is a great way to find me, as well as my website, which is jayabbasi.me.
Great, great. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of value here that we discussed, and hopefully, um, just like me, I did gain some valuable insights from our conversation today. So, with that said, thank you for tuning in, Jay. Thank you for watching us, and have a great rest of your weekend coming up, and enjoy. Um, and is there anything else you want to share with us before we adjourn?
No, I would say just gratitude to you, Kent, for taking the time to chat with me. I really enjoyed the conversation, and for everyone listening, have an amazing weekend, and take care of yourself.
Awesome. All right. End it.